Dragon Rider. I bought this on a whim from Waterstones because it looked like this and it had a dragon on the cover. I'm not gonna lie, that's the entire reason that I purchased this book. It's chonky. I didn't know what I was getting into, and I went into it completely blind, and I am so glad that I did. This is about a man named Jay, a boy, he's a teenager, and his family was killed by the ruling family, and he and his brothers are basically indentured servants, if you will, and they cannot go home until they are adults. Jay takes care of the former emperor. He's sort of his manservant, if you will, but he obviously doesn't love his lot in life, but he's rolling with it. Things are fine. And then there's a coup and everything goes sideways. And I don't want to tell you who runs it, although once you start reading the book, it's pretty obvious who's going to not be a great person in this book. But there's a coup. Everything is overthrown and his life just gets turned upside down. It is thrown on its head. In this world, there are dragons, but the emperor where Jay lives, there are no dragons. I don't really want to spoil how the dragons tie in, but it is really, really, really cool. And it's kind of an adventure story. It has huge epic fantasy vibes. I was here for these epic fantasy vibes. I was loving it. I had a blast with this book. I need the next book immediately. I loved it that much. I need the next book immediately. It was not a 5-star read. It was not one that on its own I am going to necessarily say, this is something that I need to read and I need a whole fandom to come out of this. I'm not there yet with this. I'm not there yet. The series does have potential though. I think it was almost an entire, I don't know, 500 something pages of world building, which I love. I am a world building junkie. I am here for the world building. Give me all of the world building. I'm good with it. I'm so good with it. So this was all world building and I loved every moment. And I felt like we got to the end of this book and the plot really, really started to take off. The next book does not come out until later this year. So that's unfortunate for me because I need it now because I need to know what happens next. Just saying. This is amazing. I'm going to put the American cover up here because this, I think, is just the Waterstones cover. When I looked at UK sellers, I didn't see this cover anywhere but Waterstones. This is incredible. As a starting point, it has so much room to grow and it needs to grow. I don't think that this is perfection yet, but it is setting itself up to be a very spectacular, very amazing epic fantasy series. There is potential for this to be one of those series that I am absolutely obsessed with.